everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the all-new Infernal Cohort for the Helsmiths of Hashut that Games Workshop very kindly sent me early to build up a paint with all of you from the new Helsmiths of Hashut army set. I'm very excited because they're very cool. They're very pretty simple to do actually, so I'm eager to get started and show you how to paint them in the colours of the box art. So we've got a bit of admin before we get anywhere. So they've all been primed in grey cere, and what we're going to be doing is we're basically going to be painting up, well, we've got the champion here, we've got the musician and the gong carrier here, we've got the banner, and we've got just a regular old Infernal Cohort member just there. We also have another one just here. So what we're basically going to be doing here is we're going to be focusing on these four plus this guy, so these 5, and then we're going to do the banner, and we're going to do the gong carrier or the Hobgrot at the end basically. So we're just going to get these all done, then we'll do that flag, and then we'll do the gong carrier. So with all that out of the way, as already mentioned, they've all been primed in grey cere, and the colour we're going to be using first is Sigvald Burgundy. We're going to be applying this over the top of their little sort of sashes and things. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Black Legion. I'm going to be using this over a lot of the model. So we're going to be using this over the top of the kind of leather parts, which is going to include the sort of bits that the scale mail are attached to. So it's like the skirts and things around here, like that sort of thing. But what we're also going to do is we're going to apply this over the top of their shirts, the sort of undersuit that you can see around their neck, which is kind of part of the shirt. We're going to be applying this over the top of any pouches, and we're going to be applying this over the top of the horns on this guy's hat. So with that Black Legion all applied, we're then going to take 2 colours, Skeleton Horde and Wyldwood. We're going to apply this over the top of all of the grips of the weapons. So what we're going to do is start with the Skeleton Horde, and we're going to apply this over the top of the entirety of the grip of the weapon. Although in this case, because he's partitioned between his hands, it's not absolutely imperative that we get it done over the top of the whole thing, but we will. Like so. And then we're going to wash the brush, get rid of the water, then we're going to grab some Wyldwood. I'm going to apply this towards the base whilst it's still wet, just like that. And if you need to, what we're going to do is just wash the brush one more time, go back to some Skeleton Horde, and just use that to soften that transition between the 2 colours, like so. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Agrax Earthshade, and we're going to apply this over top of all of their skin. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Castellax Bronze, and we're going to apply this over top of all of what will be that dark, heavy brass armour. This is going to be over the top of the boots, legs, what little of those that you can see. It's going to be over the top of the hats at the back, chest plates, shoulders, and shield facings. A whole lot of this colour. So with all of that Castellax Bronze applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take a roughly 4 parts Cygor Brown to 2 parts Lamia Medium, so effectively a 2 parts Cygor Brown to 1 part Lamia Medium, and we're going to apply this over top of all of that Castellax Bronze. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Leadbelcher. I'm going to apply this over top of any blades and weapons, but we're also going to apply this over top of the scale mail. And so with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour, and we're going to apply this over the top of all the remaining details. So with that all done, it's now time to add some shades to these Dwarden, and well, the first of these is going to be some Targor Rageshade, and we're going to apply this over the top of all the scale mail. And now this is going to also include the black details around the scale mail, just for the sake of ease. Next up, we're going to take some Nuln Oil. We're going to apply this over the top of the silver on the weapons, but we're also going to apply this over the top of the black on their shirts, and in this guy's case, over the top of his horns and his hat as well. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Reikland Fleshshade. We're going to use this to shade all of the flesh. This is just going to move it just slightly away from the sort of completely lifeless Agrax Earthshade. Just give them a little bit of warmth. And with that all done, we're then going to take some Guilliman Flesh. I'm going to use this to shade the gold. So with that all done, our Infernal Cohort are now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready, and they're looking pretty good. However, we're not going to leave them there. No, we're going to take them to the next level, and we're going to do this by adding some layers and some highlights. So, same thing again. What we're going to do is we're going to just work on all of them. Then eventually we'll get to that banner and then the Hobgrot. So, the colour that we're going to be using first is some thinned down Emperor's Children. We're going to be using this to highlight all of our burgundy bits. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Dawnstone. I'm going to use this to highlight all the black details. With that Dawnstone applied, I'm going to take a tiny amount of some Evil Sunz Scarlet. I'm going to use this to pick out all of their eyeballs. With that Evil Sunz Scarlet applied to all of their eyes, we're then going to take some thinned down Flayed One Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight all of their skin. With that Flayed One Flesh all applied, we then take some Berserker Bloodshade. Not very much of this at all. And we're going to apply this over the top of their bottom lip. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Screaming Skull. We're going to apply this over the top of the teeth. And with that Screaming Skull all applied, we're then going to take some Karandras Green. I'm going to apply this over the top of little glass sort of grenade-y type things that some of them have. Just in the window and amongst the black. And so with that all done, we are now going to start on the metallics. And we're going to kick things off with some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight both bits of silver. So with that all done, we're now going to highlight all of the sort of dark brown armour, the Castellax Bronze stuff, with some thinned down Runelord Brass. So with all that Runelord Brass applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Liberator Gold. I'm going to use this to do two things. So, first thing we're going to use this to do is we're going to use this to relayer some of our wide open areas. And it's not going to be all of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to relayer the sort of top parts of their hats that we did with the Retributor Armour. Like that sort of thing. And basically you want to just relayer it down to the point of where it gets to that sort of gem, and then it turns into a highlight for like the nose guard. Like that sort of thing. The other thing we're going to do with the Liberator Gold, we need a different individual for this. This guy. Is we're going to use this to relayer his necklace. And the kind of main part of the horns in that sort of area, like that sort of thing. And additionally, we're also going to use this to relayer the lower parts of the trim of the shields. So not this top bit, but all that area down there. However, we are not done with the Liberator Gold, because the other thing we're doing with the Liberator Gold is we're going to be highlighting all of the gold details that aren't those bits that we're relayering. So with that Liberator Gold all applied, we then take some thinned down Canoptek alloy, and we use this to highlight the parts that we relayered, so the tops of the hats and those shields, for examples. And so with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Tesseract Glow, and we're going to apply this inside the sort of orby things on their weapons. And so with that all done, we then take some Blood Angels Red. I'm going to apply this over the top of all the little gems. So with that all done, all of our Infernal Cohort are pretty much finished. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on the banner very quickly. And as you can see, we've done a couple of bits here and there, but that's because it's just some metallics. But what the colour we're going to be using first for the banner is a roughly 2 parts Volupus Pink to 1 part Lamia Medium mix. We're going to be applying this over the top of the entire thing. And we're going to be doing this in 2 coats. So with those 2 layers of Volupus Pink applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors. I'm going to use this to paint in the standard. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Liberator Gold. I'm going to use this to pick out the trim on the front of the banner. So with that all done, we then take some Berserker Bloodshade. I'm going to apply this over the top of the entire lot, the gold and the pink. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Pink Horror. I'm going to use this to highlight the banner. So with that all done, the banner's finished. So we can pop it to one side. And we now have the Hobgrot, the last thing to do. So what we're going to do first on our Hobgrot is we're going to take some Gore-Grunta Fur, and we're going to apply this over top of, well, the entirety of the Hobgrot's robe. With that Gore-Grunta Fur applied, we then take some Cygor Brown, and we're going to apply this over top of his kind of leather cushion, but also his hood. With that all done, we're then going to take a roughly 2 parts Nazdreg Yellow to 1 part Snakebite Leather mix. I'm going to thin it down with 1 part Lamium Medium, just to ensure it goes on nice and smooth. I'm going to apply this over top of our Hobgrot skin. And so with that all done, we then take some Black Legion, and we're going to apply this over the top of the belt, the gloves, and over the top of our Hobgrot's teeth and, well, fingernails. Nope, toenails. So with that all done, our next job is to take some thinned down Castellax Bronze, and we're going to apply this over the top of the gong. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors, and we're going to apply this over top of all of the remaining details. So with that all done, we're now just going to quickly add some shades, and the first of these is going to be some Berserker Bloodshade. I'm going to apply this over the top of the gong. It's a darker bronze, but it's not the same as the armour. And with that Berserker Bloodshade applied, we then take some Nuln Oil. And we're going to apply this over top of all the silver. So with that all done, we're now going to add some highlights. The first of these is going to be some thinned down Deathclaw Brown. I'm going to use this over the top of his little robe. With that all done, we then take some thinned down Gorthor Brown, and we're going to use this to highlight the hood and cushion. And then next up, we're going to take some thinned down Dawnstone. We're going to use this to highlight the black details. So with that all done, we then take a tiny amount of Evil Sunz Scarlet and we're going to apply it over the top of the Hobgrot's eyeballs. With that all done, we then take some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight the silver. And so with that all done, we then finish off our Hobgrot by taking some thinned down Rude Lord Brass. I'm going to use this to highlight the gong. And there we have it. Our Infernal Cohort are now all finished. Ready to rank up with their lovely jolly spears. I'm actually quite excited to use these in a game of Spearhead. Because this is the Spearhead option with the spears, funnily enough. But I do kind of want to get another box and do with the hand weapons as well. Because I'm a big fan of the Helsmiths of Hashut. I think they're really cool models. And, well, painting them is an absolute joy to do. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.